Hope it's audible. Yes. So let me run the glue script. This is a glue script which picks up the record from the processed data folder and then moves it or ingests it into the data warehouse like Redshift for in this example. So before ingesting, it will just flatten the items array because it's a nested JSON type. So it will flatten it and then so that when it inserts into the target table, it has each column separated out. So yeah, let me run it and yeah, we will wait for the glue job to the glue job is successfully completed. I can see the status. So let's go back to the query editor in Redshift. Yeah, here it is. So this is the existing records. As I told, we have only two order IDs. It's 101 and 102. So since we have run the glue job, we are expecting the latest records merged into this table. So let us have a look. Yeah, exactly. So this is currently in append mode. So that's why you are able to see both the previous record and the new record. So currently, as it's mentioned, we have two items for 101 already now. It's a laptop and mouse. So the first two are the old records, and the new ones are from the third record. You can see already 101. We have two items, laptop, mouse, and the 102 is retained as is, but there's no change there. And 103, we have a new item added that is for product monitor. So we'll just look into the setup part of it really quickly now. Let me open a document which has all the details. So let me go from the beginning. So like I mentioned, we have created these three bucket and the folders, the input folder and the process folder. So input is where the first record gets processed, and then the final merged record goes into the process data folder. I had shown you the input JSON file, it's a sample one. So we can see the order ID and the items as a nested JSON type here. And then we have, like I mentioned, there is an Lambda function. So the Lambda function automatically picks the record from the input data and then it, merges it into the process data folder. So here is the script. I just mentioned it here, and where it's reading the file from your S3 input bucket, and then it is it just checks if it's a new file or it's an already existing file, and then it does the merging, and then writes it back into the process data folder. So yeah, I just given some screenshot on how to deploy and then how to test that particular lambda function. So and also there is an event S3 event for this lambda. So as and when we place the file in the input directory, this particular S3 event will get triggered and this lambda function would be working. So I've just given a testing record as well. So we can just find, and also we see in how the order merged order looks like. If it's an update, the 101 already gets updated. If 102 gets retained as it is, and 103, which is newly added, gets inserted. So loading into Redshift, this is what we're creating. So step one would be creating the Redshift connection. So the connection, oh sorry, the Redshift cluster. So the Redshift cluster, you need to create it. Um, as a DC2 large and also given the basic information like the database name, the user ID, passwords. And one important setting is the publicly accessible should be kept as yes, so that data allows you to connect from external sources. So just give in some screenshot on the Redshift cluster part and like I mentioned, the publicly accessed part is over here. And also we need to attach the proper IAM role, which has Redshift access as well as S3 access, and also say CloudWatch access, so that if any logs we need to write, we need to have that. Step four would be create, the connection part. So we saw the cluster part. Now this is the connection part. So connection type, we're using JDBC here, type of connection, and so just create a screenshot on how that connection looks like. Again, we need to use the JDBC URL. I think the URL is mentioned in this upload screenshot. This part we have the JDBC URL, and then you give an user ID password and use the same VPC. The default VPC should be same as the one we are using in the Redshift cluster. So create the connection, just test it out, and if it's connection is fine, then you will be able to insert the record. So here the next step is creating the tables. So here is a query for create table for the order staging, and also I created an organization table. This is just a static table. Just want to show you how an join into these two tables look like. And then this is the function or the AWS view which we just ran just now. So so the steps involved to create the job as well as the entire glue script I've mentioned here. So again, it just reads from the processed data folder, the merge, and then it does the um, expanding or flattening of those columns so that it is used into then writing into the Redshift cluster using the Redshift connection which we had created earlier. And then once it's created, I've given some steps to how to create a quick site dashboard using that a join query between the order staging and organization. We will, yeah, let me show you how it looks in the, yeah, just a minute. Let me continue with the organization table. So this is a table, a static table containing organization, division, project, and order ID. So the order ID here is our joining key with our order staging table. So I've just inserted some dummy records into this table, and then I've written a simple join query between order staging and organization. And the query looks like this. So we have all the records from our order staging table, and then based on the order ID joining column, we have the organization divisions and the projects. So based on this query output, I've created a QuickSight dashboard. So let me log into QuickSight quickly. Yeah, let me go back here to dashboards. So the process is, creating a data set here. So you create a data set using, it could be anything. You can upload a file, or it could be from directly from S3 or through Athena or from Redshift. So in our case, it will be Redshift. So the process I mentioned in the document. So let me go back quickly here. And then once the data set's added, you can then start creating your dashboards. So this is a dashboard I've created using organization and the products which we have from our order staging table. Thank you.